What is this thing called COBRA, and why is it so expensive? Are employers trying to penalize their employees?
No, they are not. COBRA is considered the Consolidated Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act of 1985. It is simply a short-term extension of the plan that you had through your employer, where you pay 100% of the premium plus an additional 2%. And no, your employer is not trying to penalize you. The reality of it is, once again, is the exact same plan by law that your employer was offering to you, and frankly, you're paying the same premium your employer was paying. The average COBRA cost for an individual is $700 a month. The average cost for a family is $1,400 a month. COBRA is simply not affordable. And besides the fact, it's really a trap.
Wait, what do you mean COBRA Trap? I have friends that are on COBRA. Why do you call it a trap?
COBRA should always be your last resort. Number one, it is expensive. And number two, and more importantly, it's temporary. If you go under the COBRA plan, you may be healthy when you start the COBRA plan, but if something happens to your health during the 18 months that you're on the COBRA plan, you've now created a pre-existing condition that when the COBRA runs out, you may be unable to find a plan to replace it, and you may find yourself uninsurable. In all the years that I've been working selling health insurance, I've seen hundreds of situations where folks that were healthy took the COBRA plan thinking everything was going to be okay, and during that time period they would discover they had diabetes, or maybe they had clogged arteries, or heaven forbid they had more serious problems. Now people that would never have considered themselves to be without insurance find themselves uninsured at the end of COBRA and unable to buy any kind of health insurance. So you need to make sure before you go on a COBRA plan, or really before you go on COBRA at all, call the professionals at Beacon Associates. Let us find a plan that's more affordable to you, and more importantly, one that's not temporary, one that will last you as long as you need it to.
Well, speaking of that, how long does COBRA last, and what should someone do to find something else?
Well, in case of termination or separation from a job, COBRA will last you 18 months. But once again, our recommendation is call the professionals at Beacon. That COBRA plan may sound attractive now, but it's a trap, and in the long run, if you have a health problem, it will leave you without any help.
Well, say that I'd been laid off and I couldn't afford the COBRA premium. What would I do?
Well, before you even get faced with the COBRA premium, we suggest that you call the professionals at Beacon Associates, and once again, and I'm confident that we can find you a plan for maybe 40% less than what the COBRA premium is going to be offering to you. We'll find a plan that's affordable to you, that fits in your budget and takes care of your needs.
All right, same situation. I was just laid off, but I had a pending surgery. What would I do about COBRA and health insurance in that situation?
Well, in those cases, we want to first make sure that COBRA is an option for you. If your employer has less than 20 employees, by law, they're not required to offer COBRA to you. Employers of 20 or more employees will have to offer COBRA to you. My suggestion is, if you have a pre-existing condition or a pending surgery, something that needs to be taken care of, you accept the COBRA policy, pay the premium, keep the premiums paid, go ahead and have your procedures done, whatever medical issues you have, get them resolved. Once you get a bill of health from your physician and you get a doctor's release, call the professionals at Beacon Associates, and what we will then do is go out into the marketplace, find a plan that meets your needs, covers your issues, and is affordable to you. Politicians would like you to think that individual health insurance is not affordable, and that's why there are so many uninsured. The reality of it is, most people that do not have coverage have never taken the time to pick up the phone and find out just how affordable health insurance is. Once again, with all the recent changes in the health insurance marketplace, there are far more solutions out there today for people to find quality health insurance coverage to protect their needs, to protect their children, to protect their family. Don't allow politicians to dictate to you whether it's affordable or not. Call the professionals at Beacon Associates. Allow us to show you that if health insurance is important to you, we can make it affordable.
My husband's happy, so they freed up some money.
She was able to see where I was coming from and really was able to customize the package, and I have been very pleased with the choices that she came up with.
They know exactly how to save people money.
They're always on your side, and they're looking out for you and taking care of you.
Satisfaction. And isn't that everything today, regardless of what business you're in?
So we do have some questions from the audience.
Absolutely.
You want to go ahead?
Sure.
I plan to retire at age 60. Should I take the COBRA coverage, then call Beacon?
Once again, absolutely, before anybody retires. And this is advice you're not going to hear anybody else. You know, we hear all kinds of financial advice and other kind of recommendations, but frankly, folks, if you're going to leave your job, the first person you need to call is a health insurance agent. The first person you need to call is Beacon Associates, and make sure that your health history is such that we can find a plan to fit your needs, make sure that we can find a plan that fits your budget. If you're 60 years old, you've got to get to age 65 before you're going to be eligible for Part A and for Part B of Medicare. At that point, your health history is not an issue. So we've got a 5-year window of time that we need to keep you insured and protected against major medical events. So what we need to do is find a plan that'll fit your needs and fit your budget. And by the way, those of you out there that are turning 65 or are already over 65, we have plans that will assist you in paying for the things that Medicare Part A and Part B doesn't do. Medicare supplements is what they're called. You can pretty much go to any doctor, any hospital, no copays, no deductibles, no out-of-pocket at the doctor or the hospital, and probably have a premium less than $120 a month. So the reality of it is, call the professionals at Beacon Associates and let us find a plan that'll meet your needs before you even announce that you're going to retire.
Looks like we have another question out here.
I plan to quit my job and start my own contracting business. Should I take the COBRA first and then get my own plan?
Absolutely not. My recommendation is, once again, anybody, before you tell your employer you're going to quit your job for whatever the reason, call the professionals at Beacon Associates. First, we need to find out what your health history is and make sure we can find a plan that will meet your needs and that will cover your health history. And we want to make sure, obviously, we can find a plan that's affordable to you. Secondly, if you're going to be a self-employed contractor, it's important that you have a health plan that will cover you when you're on the job as well as when you're not. Most self-employed small business owners and self-employed contractors do not buy workers' compensation on themselves. By law, they're not expected to. Therefore, you need a health policy that gives you 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week coverage. COBRA is not going to cover you when you're on the job. So we want to make sure we have a plan that will cover you if you have a work-related injury.
Okay. I plan to retire at age 60. Should I take the COBRA coverage, then call Beacon?
Once again, and this is another case. We have a gentleman that at age 60 wants to retire. Before he announces his retirement, and frankly, before he even tells his wife he's going to retire, I recommend that he call the professionals at Beacon Associates to, number one, make sure we have a plan that he's insurable for, that he can purchase, make sure that's affordable. More importantly, in that case of a 60-year-old, that person has 5 years to become eligible for Medicare Part A and B. At age 65, he'll be eligible to be covered by Medicare A and B, at which time your health history is not such a big issue. So we need a plan that will cover you during the next 5 years. We'll make sure we can find one that will take care of your needs and be affordable to you during that 5-year period. As a matter of fact, those of you out there that are turning 65 or already over 65 or on Medicare Part A and Part B right now, call the professionals at Beacon Associates. We have supplementary insurance to go with your Medicare Part A and Part B, and in most cases allow you to go to any doctor, any hospital with no deductibles, no copays, no out-of-pocket money at the doctor or the hospital, and very well maybe under $120 a month.
My son just turned 23 and he's still in college. My employer stops coverage at 23, but they are offering COBRA. Should I put my son on COBRA?
If your son is healthy, we do not recommend you put your son on COBRA. We recommend that you call the professionals of Beacon Associates. In all likelihood, we could find a health plan for your son that will last indefinitely, because remember, once again, the COBRA is only good for a short period of time. We will find a plan for probably 20% of what the COBRA premium would be to insure your son with. COBRA is simply a short-term extension of the existing health plan that you already have. COBRA can be a trap. Remember, call the professionals at Beacon Associates before you rely on a COBRA plan alone. Allow us to offer you a plan that will last you an indefinite period of time rather than just 18 months. The coverage that we offer can be kept for 1 month or 5 years. And the important thing is, do not accept a plan that is going to leave you without coverage in the future in an 18 or 36-month period. Call the professionals at Beacon Associates now. Allow us to teach you the secrets that politicians and health insurance companies don't want you to know about purchasing your own health insurance coverage. One of our licensed representatives will collect vital information from you that we could use to search the marketplace to find a plan that best fits your needs and also fits into your budget. And once again, remember, our service is 100% free. You'll not pay 1 penny more with any of the carriers that we represent.